Yo guys, welcome to some more unnecessary movements on a big field of dirt covered with green plants cut to a short height. Basically, I've been training on grass a lot and it's probably the only thing on my mind most of the time. This first session here, I was coming back from not tricking for a bit, so I was feeling a little bit rusty, just a tiny bit.
Actually garbage. What? Okay, I'm actually gonna try with this one. You see, with the last two, I just wasn't trying. Yeah, sure, that was the problem.
My mind was very set on doing a specific combo this session, so I just broke it down into pieces as one naturally would. Usually a high success rate tactic.
Now I just gotta combo it.
And I have to admit I had very high hopes, but my hopes were also quick to be shattered. Or some may just call this a skill issue.
Okay, do I really deserve that? Why? Why can't I land stuff? No!
So basically, if the first attempt happens to be the best attempt of all, then there's really not much you can do. Topic switch, went to see a new backyard bar setup, but somehow I still ended up doing swings on the ground. It's not that I don't have parkour goals, but I'm really just focusing a lot on tricking right now. I'm actually really surprised I chose touchdown raise to do all these things out of, because truth be told, I don't like touchdown raise too much, but the thing is that tricking these days is a touchdown raise monopoly, so to speak. And it's gotten to me, it's gotten to my head. I used to plan doing my first triple cork out of Gumby because Gumby is just much cooler and much more relaxing than touchdown raise. But the problem is that we all have a lust for power, and touchdown raise just gives more power in less time. It's overpowered. It's free money, if we continue the Monopoly analogy. You can swing, pop, punch, vanish, do all that stuff comfortably. Can Gumby do that? Didn't think so. In many ways, it is the superior setup, but it's everywhere, man. You can't hide from touchdown raise. It's also by far the most difficult trick to teach and to learn as well. I have not encountered a more complicated trick than touchdown raise. In terms of triple cork, doing the cork part, not too bad. Getting the touchdown raise to work correctly almost requires a PhD, but we only have a college for corks. It's a lost cause. It's the sad truth. In my last video, I said that I bruised my heel, and I was like, yeah, it'll probably take a couple days to heal. And then my heel was just like, oh, just so you know, I'm not gonna get any better anytime soon. So when I was patiently waiting for my left heel to heal, then out of frustration, I just said, okay, I'm gonna go have a right leg only session. Well, for the most part anyway, who even needs the left leg? So I was just thinking, what kind of junk could I possibly do here? And the only good idea I got was cheat 7 double front swing 540 and to GMS, but I could not get the GMS. I also realized that 540 to GMS is just a very awkward thing. When I also got cartwheel, full shirk, and hyperhook. Wow, that is a long name, but I don't remember doing it on grass before this. So that's great. On another day, I went out to train, and for some unknown reason, I went to this thin strip of mod lawn. I was just placing restrictions on myself for absolutely no reason. But it was one of those sessions where you feel really tired to begin with, but then somehow things start working, and then you do a bunch of hard stuff you haven't done before. At some point here, I realized what a terrible choice I made by coming to this thin strip while I had perfectly good grass spots that were equally close. And then I just left to a good spot. Anyway, I'm really bored of talking about tricks now, so I'm gonna instead talk about my Netflix subscription. It's actually a very rare occurrence for me to have one in the first place, because I feel like every single time I try to watch something specific, it is not on Netflix. Especially movies, and I'm really not trying to own like 4 different subscriptions to different streaming services because all the franchises are branched out like that. It's gonna be one or none, and Netflix is definitely the best one, even though I think it has a lot of flaws. But I will say that Netflix has a lot of great TV shows. I've so far had 2 Netflix subscriptions. My previous one was just to watch Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Finally, that was correct. Did wrong so many times, but finally I got it.
Also absolutely did not almost destroy my ankle while walking away from a trick. And when I got done with those, I was just like, okay, I'm not trying to watch anything else right now. I'm just gonna cancel this. And a long 2 years have gone by since I last had a Netflix subscription, but now I finally found something I want to watch again. So I've been watching House MD, House Medical Doctor. Yeah, probably during this session that you're watching right now, I was thinking about how I was gonna go home later and watch some more House. It certainly hasn't been a very positive influence to my upload schedule that I started watching a new TV show. But then again, my upload schedule is garbage anyway, so I don't think it really even matters. But coming back to movies, it's quite sad to me that these days I can't really get too excited about new movies coming out anymore, because most new releases are just sequels or franchises that are previously untapped that are turned into movies, or just Something that story-wise feels very similar to hundreds of other movies. Just feel like the same movies are being made over and over again. It used to be fun going to the movies. Now I can't find a single thing I'd actually like to see. And of course there has been a massive transition to streaming in the movie industry, but what am I gonna watch, Netflix originals? Yeah, it's pretty boring. I just watch old stuff most of the time. Technically House is pretty old too. It's like from 2004. I went to a parkour jam in Estonia and I realized that I've slightly gone backwards with some tricks. I was trying to start a line with standing double full off of a ledge, and for some reason it was harder to do for me than standing double full on grass. This shouldn't make any sense, but I feel like focusing too much on tricking and always training on soft surfaces, I just kind of have forgotten how to do things in the real world. But it's not about being incapable, it's entirely a mental thing. Just gonna have to get over it somehow. It's always a constant out here that every jam ends on the air track. You can just tell that things are about to die down when people start gathering around the air track. But I don't really mind it because this is the closest thing I have to a spring floor right now. It's been just about 2 months since I last touched the floor with springs underneath it. I'm waiting for the day whenever I can go on one again. I'm not sure when that's gonna happen. Here I went out to train with 2 of the best G-trampers from Estonia. This still resulted in me just spamming tramp twisting like I always do. I didn't start doing G-tramp all of a sudden, though I did do one double kaboom, but I didn't film that one. God. This Acon circle here has the craziest setup. It has all springs replaced with Acon rectangle springs. They're crossed over, the net has been raised, and the whole trampoline has been raised with some scrap wood because they bottomed out otherwise. It was certainly interesting to witness what the G-tramp mentality can do to a regular circle trampoline. I don't care about modifications for getting more bounce at all, because the less bounce I have, the better my technique needs to be, so I'm actually creating more incentive to actually get better. But of course in G-Tramp you actually really need bounce, so it makes a whole lot of sense for them to do it. But yeah, the trampoline was really good. I had no idea you could make circles bounce this much. That's the main reason why I started trying quad here. Also, I was sure that I would be able to upload this video before I hit 300 subscribers, because when I made my last video I was at like 200 something. I was in the early 200s and now I'm at 320. Where are these people coming from? But of course, thanks to everybody who subscribed. I actually have the next video prepared ahead of time. This is an insane advancement. Later we went to a gym that's existed for quite a while in Estonia, but I've never gone there. It's a tumbling slash team gym slash good trampoline setup gym. But of course, no spring floor. To quickly interject, the most casual quad backflip neck ever. The height of this black and red resi can be adjusted using a remote on the wall, which I found really interesting. But I should definitely come back here again to learn some more intricate double flips than just half in. Oh, and there's an airbag below the foam pit, I think. This is a very high-tech gym. It also has the widest air track I've seen. I mean, an air track that is still supposed to be a long track and not a square. Seems like every time I get on an air track now, I for some reason just do 2 things, quad full and full in. I was having a bit of trouble with quad full because every time I was not landing in the most optimal position for my right ankle. You can just see how it snaps a bit too far into inversion every time I land. It's a medical term. I've been watching House. Even though the patients there rarely ever have problems with their musculoskeletal systems, it's usually always internal organs, but still. Anyway, by the end I landed everything I wanted to except for the front flip to round off quad, which I will get on another day. And I also tried to set full in on dead floor, but I think it's the end of the video now, so you know, thanks for watching and subscribe and whatever.